Welcome to South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. This is the place, the one-stop shop for everything local fishing. We're going to cover what's biting, who's catching it, where it's biting. We're also going to go over your future marine forecast, and along with that, we are going to cover the moon phase and the tide charts. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, or just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, let's get right into this. We had a busy week. We got a ton of info to go over and cover and keep everybody into the bite. The first thing is we're going to go over a little bit of news that somebody shared last week about the Jupiter Inlet, talking about it being very shallow on towards the middle of the inlet. Now, let me go over real quick, pull up what he said, and we'll take a look at it. So this is John from up in Jupiter. He said, went out of Jupiter Inlet and the sandbar has grown almost completely across the inlet. Only a small opening on the south side is deep enough for boats to enter or exit. The middle mouth of the inlet was only about 1 to 2 feet deep. It needs dredging immediately. So folks, be careful if you are heading out of Jupiter Inlet. We had somebody else comment on it saying there was a 70-foot sport fish grounded the other day inside the inlet. Totally unacceptable. So this is some great local knowledge. Again, if you are heading out of Jupiter Inlet. That's our news for this week. Pretty much what we got going on concerning all of that goodness when it comes to news. Nothing from the FWC, nothing from NOAA concerning shutdowns or anything. So we're in the clear when it comes to that. So let's get right into our fishing report. We are going to start with our inshore. The word for the day when it comes into inshore fishing is pompano. The pompano are biting. So I'm going to start out with up north from Port St. Lucie. We got a buddy of mine, Johnny Rivera. He put in a solid report on fire for me. I mean, you can't ask for more information than this. I'm going to get right into it. Let me show you right here. This is Mr. Rivera in the flesh right here. Nice pompano. Now, let me go back and read his report for you. He told me this is from the 14th, so we're talking a couple of days ago. East wind, dirty the water. Pompano were hit or miss, but he did catch them from the week before, so they're still biting, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. Fort Pierce to Stewart, most catches come on frozen shrimp. Also, he said from the week before he was catching them on sand fleas. St. Lucie and Indian River had overslot snook chasing finger mullet near the bridges and the seawalls and docks. The sheep's head are in dinner plate sized sheepers on known oyster beds. So there's a good place to go fish for them. A little bit of info if you are up north there. Also, large tarpon spotted entering the inlets on the incoming tide. Interesting. I've always found that when you fish inlets, the outgoing tide brings the fish. But hey, he's saying incoming tide, they're seeing them. Whether or not they're feeding is different. And he says they're feeding on big mullet. Schools of large jack crevalle also circling outside casting range at the pieces on the steep drop-offs. So this is a great report by Johnny Rivera. Can't knock that right there. And that's going to go for up and down the coast, right? Jack crevalle, pompano, they're biting good. And let me show you another thing I got from Pedro. He sent in a picture of his catch of pompano. And of course, we want to show you that. So here we go. This is Pedro with his buddy. Said he got out. Look at that. Right down here, we got a whole mess load of them. 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, a dozen. Baker's dozen. 13. Great job right there for Pedro. So the pompano are biting. Sheep's head, jack crevalle, tarpon, snook. All your inshore goodies are on fire right now. And what's happening is we've got a reversal of El Nino happening. So our oceans are cooling down. Bait fish are starting to pod and school. And everywhere you're going to see right now, especially last weekend when the weather gave us a break, everyone was able to get out and really put a hammer in on the fish and bring home some goodies. So let's get right into it, right? That was our inshore. Now we're going to head to the reef. The reef, of course, I'm pulling up my notes right here. Don't mind me. The reef, we've got fish like permit, the yellowtail snapper, and the mutton snapper. this mutton snapper bite is still on fire. We're still seeing large mutton snapper. The little dinks aren't taken over just yet, but that will come in the near future. So let's pull up what we got. Let's see right here. I got a Fish City Pride picture. This is a drift boat. If you're into heading out on the head boats and sharing a spot with a couple other folks, having some fun. Here we go. This is from the Fish City Pride. Look at that. The yellowtails. We got some lane snapper in there, and look at that slob of a mutton going on right there. We got a couple of false albacore back in the back too. Great job on the drift boat. So if you're into drifting, you can go out there and try your luck. There's nothing wrong with going out on a drift boat. I believe the Fish City Pride costs $60 to head out on it now. I used to go out on it years ago. Still, head boat. It's worth it, right? No gas money, no bait money, nothing. Bring your rod if you want to. If not, they got theirs, and try your luck at it. Remember, the key to drifting is always continuously letting out line. Don't ever stop and drag your bait through the water. That's how you catch fish when you are drifting, regardless if you're on your own boat or if you are on a drift boat. All right, let's continue. Let's see what else we got. Like I said, we're on the reef right now, so we got a permit. I did mention permit, right? Let's show you a picture of permit we got here. Let me see. I know somebody sent me a nice little permit here. It was from Scott. And pull it up real quick. Now I'll share the screen real quick because I know it's here somewhere. Let me see. Where's our permit? There we go. This is from Scott. Check this out, folks. Nice permit right there. Let me see if he gave any info where he got it down. No, but hey, that's definitely inshore, shallow reef type area stuff. Good notes on that. Good to go with the permit. Okay, so let's see what else we got. I know we got another solid mutton snapper going on here. Let me see if I can find it real quick and show you where it is. Yes, I can. Yes. Bear with me a moment and we will get that up to you. So we've got, again, mutton snapper. I just want to show you that these are some solid mutton snappers being caught. Where are we? You know what? He was an individual post. I'm going to pull it up right quick and then we will scroll down to it. Again, mutton snapper is the thing to do. Get that out of my way. All right, here we go. Ignore the dolphin. Ignore the big dolphin. There we go. Here we are. Bam, right there. Mutton snapper. So again, this was a mixed bag trip for this gentleman. He went out, and I'm going to get to what else he did because he did some trolling. But hey, nice solid mutton snapper. Again, this is your typical reef fishing for this time of year, folks. Yellowtails, the permit there. The shallower waters, you're going to get fish more like permit and lane snappers, some mangroves over that. But if you head out to the deeper ledges, you'll get the yellowtails and the mutton snappers. Great catch right there by Scott. All right, now we will head off of the reef and we're going to talk a little bit about deep dropping, right? Deep dropping is still solid with the vermilions. They're all over the darn place. You can't get away from them. But again, vermilion snapper, you got to go find them. They're going to be between 200, 300 feet, hanging out over the rubble, over the sand sometime, off of the structures. So find you a wreck, go out, and you got to find them. They'll be hovering just over the bottom, and they school, and then you go down, you catch a bunch of them, and then you'll have to move with your current because vermilions move. Also out deep, a sure thing, if you are getting skunked, if you've headed out and let's say you're going for mahi or tuna and you've got nothing, you've got an electric reel, head out to 800 feet, go for the rosies. Rosies, you're going to want to stay out of the mud. That way you don't end up getting a tile fish and have to bring them back down. Get your rosies. Rosies are unlimited. Find the big ones. If you're catching the small ones, move. Also, swordfish bite is still consistent. They're still out there. They're still biting. I've seen, a few here and there. So that is your deep dropping. Still consistent, still happening. Everybody's still having fun. If you're bombing out, don't be afraid to drop down your baits and get out there. Now we're going to move on to what you should be doing this time of year. It's spring. The springtime fishing is on fire, and that is trolling. Folks, if you're not into trolling, I seriously would like you to consider trying it. It will change your mind about springtime trolling. Regardless, some people love their reef, some people love deep dropping. Hey, more power to you, but I'm going to abide by trolling right now. If you're not trolling, you're missing out a ton of fun. So what's in the bite for trolling right now is blackfin, mahi, the kingfish are still fired up over the reef, and the wahoo are still biting. They're scattered. They're not thick like they were, but we're, in the middle of April. March and April are great times for big female wahoo. So let's get into this. Let's start showing some pictures. We're going to go right back with Martin. He had, like I said, we got kingfish. So let's take a look at some kingfish, and then we'll take a look at some mahi. So here we go. Look, nice, solid, big kingfish, double digit in there, making him flex them guns, holding that one up. All right, so we got kingfish, of course. And let's take a look. Also, he had some, this is all in the same trip. This guy got dolphin, blackfin tuna, some little footballs, nice little keeper dolphin. That almost looks like a pompano dolphin right there. But hey, those are rare. Those are nice catches if you get them. But again, the same regulation, 20 inches to the fork. And also, look at that. You got that mutton snapper in there. So let's take a look as we scroll up. Here we go. This is Jose. Solid solo trip. Look at, like I said, the wahoo are still here. That's a solid wahoo too, man. Definitely well over 30 pounds. Look like you got a couple of the false albacore down here, or they could be tuna. I can't really tell. Still, solo trip. Excellent catch. Fun in the sun right there for Jose. Let's move on up. Here we go. Out of Port St. Lucie, Mike Long. Gaffer dolphin. So here's the thing about the dolphin right now. They are in the double digits. The gaffers are all around. You better go out and get you some while you can, because sooner or later, the onslaught of the peanuts is going to happen, and they're going to be relentless. So nice job right here for Port St. Lucie, Mike Long. Always a great contributor, sharing some knowledge. He said that one there out in 875. Hit the outrigger bait, purple islander on a chuggerhead. Good job right there. All right, let's see what else we've got on our Monday little shenanigans setup. Here we go. All right. This is John. 19.8 pound blackfin tuna. Like I said, the blackfins. It's good that they're coming in fat. We're getting the footballs and the big females still. That's great. He got this in a tournament, and believe it or not, this great size blackfin tuna got him second place, I believe, in the division. He got beat out by a 25-pound one, which is, those are some solid catches for blackfin. All right, so hey, awesome catch. All right, let's move on. Yes, let me see. Here he is. He got beat out by a 25.7 pound blackfin. It was close. No other fish caught. Couldn't find him. Well, he's fishing in cold water, 66 degrees, 900 feet. Like I told you, El Nino is reversing, and it's forecast to reverse straight into La Nina. So we will actually have to go and do an episode explaining what in the world is going to happen during La Nina. Is it going to affect our fishing, and how? And the one thing that we can almost guarantee when we have La Nina is we have heightened chances of Atlantic hurricanes. There we go. That's what I was trying to get at. All right, let's move on. There we go. Another, again, here, John Roth. Another solid blackfin. Look, these aren't those little footballs. That's definitely a double-digit blackfin right there. Great catch right there. No complaints. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's see what else we got here. Yep, stop that. All right, and we got out of Marathon, Captain Alex. He is here. You'll just have to watch his little video. He got a blue marlin out with his crew. Let me see if I can blow that up for you right there. Let's bring it back to the beginning. Out of Marathon, Captain Alex. If you're looking for a licensed captain to go fishing with, come on, show me the fish. There we go. There it is, right there. Nice catch and release. Solid blue marlin. Those are always great catches. So again, if you're down in the Marathon area and you're looking for a captain to hook up with, get in touch with me. I can give you his info, and they can put you on the fish. Definitely some great fishing. He is in touch consistently with Captain George Gods also. So, no loss of intelligence there when it comes to getting into the bite. All righty. Let's Let's move on here. Again, blue marlin. Wow. There you go. Down at a marathon. Perfect. Okay. And now, what else do we got here? We're going to go back to my email and see. Here we go. Out of Boynton Beach, Mike Bayless. Awesome. I've fished with him a couple of times. Great guy. Nice boat. He's moved back to a center console boat, which is awesome. He got on the schoolies. Awesome. Can't complain about that. He's going home. Taco time with that. Look at that. You know, great little, maybe half day, 3/4 of a day, pounding it out. Good job. So as you can see, the blackfin and the mahi are the thing. The random blue marlin, if you're out there fishing for them, obviously you can find the bite. Scattered sailfish, still wahoo. Now I want to show you one last thing. This is Thad. He went out of Key Largo for a 2-day trip. Took his son Shane out for his 21st birthday. Gonna go have some fun. Gonna do a 2-day trip out of Key Largo. Now, I mean, bear with me here. This is 1 day's catch. All the mahi. Look like we got a couple of false albacore, some solid blackfins, a boatload of them, from footballs up to some females. Good schoolie-sized dolphin, a couple of gaffers in there. Man, awesome trip. Let's move on down with his catches too. Check these out. Let's see. Look at that. Nice little shot of the blackfin. All, you know, stretched out arms, making him look like a great catch. Here we go. Look at this dolphin. And mahi dolphin, for those of you that don't know, the same thing. Solid right there. Look at that female. That's a good one. There's no flipping that one over the boat. Let's move on with his pictures. I mean, he sent in a ton of pictures. Here we go. Nice gaff shot on the blackfin. Heading into the, can't tell if that has to be sunrise because they're down into Key Largo and sunrise is in the east, sets in the west. So we're looking at water. Great early morning catch right there. Keep moving forward with it. Again, there's that blackfin that they just gaffed. Solid fish. Again, this is Thad taking his son out on his 21st birthday. Move on, more mahi. I mean, the mahi are coming in well into double digits, over 20 pounds for him on this trip. Solid. Now I want to keep moving on. I know he's got a ton of mahi pictures. Another day. Blue. We got blackfin and a couple of dolphin. Also, I want to show you another thing that he got. I mean, look at the variety of this. This is your Florida Keys fishing. Here's another dolphin, nice lit up one. And I'm going to get right down to it because he sent me a ton of pictures, which are great. And I want to show you one of the other fish that he got, other than all of his dolphin. I mean, look at these countless dolphin, mahi, a bucket load of tuna right here. Look at that. That's awesome. Let's get the last one. I got to keep going now. Look at all these pictures that he had. What a great trip this guy had. And here we go. Look at that. Finger, cap it all off. Nice wahoo. Perfect. So this is what we're getting at, folks. The fishing, the trolling, like I said, is on fire right now. Wahoo, dolphin, king mackerel over the reefs. Your deep ledge reef creatures are going to be your blackfin. Mahi are everywhere right now. You just got to find where the food source is, the debris, the weed lines. If they're not on one weed line and it's been punished, head out, find another one. Once you find the depth of the mahi you're in, don't leave. Fish them if they're big enough. All right. Now I want to get on one topic real quick and talk about lures, right? So if you're out fishing, you're going to want to have a couple of things. For me, if I'm going trolling, like the trolling is on fire, I like to fish this. This is my favorite lure. This is the Boone Turbo Hammer. Okay, I put it on 40-pound monofilament and I hook it up with double 5/0 hooks. Okay, about 8 to 10 feet of leader. Hook it on to your main line with a swivel. Keep this leader long so you can kind of trim it down as it gets chafed up. This, I always put a couple of these out in the spread, at least one. These usually end up getting hit first. This is my go-to lure. If you're not trolling value or anything like that and you're looking for just artificials, consider getting one of these. I'm going to leave the links to these couple of lures I'm going to show you real quick in the description, and we'll move on with life. So I like to get one of those out in my spread. That's a dolphin magnet. Tuna hit it also. It's a slayer. It'll get you sailfish and all that goodness too. Also, on a light spinner, you're going to want to keep something like this rigged up, ready to pitch out, sight cast to fish that are being picky. This is the white bucktail jig. I like it from the company SPRO. This is a 3/4 ounce one. You can either get this or the 1/2 ounce. I think the 3/4 ounce is optimal for saltwater fishing. You can troll it, you can pitch it out. I always keep it ready to go on the boat, on a spinner. You never know. As you're trolling by, if you see a weed patch and you're getting antsy, and you can always pick up the spinner, pitch it out. The spinner might get hit before the troll baits even get to it. Yes, they are great. I've always said if I had one thing that I could only have for the rest of my life, I would definitely go with the white bucktail jig. All right. And again, the company that I use is SPRO. I found them to be the most productive one. So there we go. All right, let's move on, folks. That is that's our fishing report. So there's no more, but I mean, everybody had a great weekend. A ton of fish landed. And as you can see, up and down the coast from Port St. Lucie all the way down to the Keys, it's on fire. All right. Enough of that. Let's see what we got. Wait a minute. Hold on. I got somebody talking something here. Orlando says, I like the Bass Pro brand tuna turbo, similar to the Turbo Hammer or the Billy baits. Yes, exactly. So I used to use actually the same lure as this, right? It's called the Billy Bait Turbo Slammer. My issue with it is they're $15 each, whether you order them online or not. This is definitely the aftermarket comparable brand. It's called the Boone Turbo Hammer. These things, they come rigged. I cut their rigs off. I don't trust anybody else rigging my baits. If I'm going to lose a fish, it's going to be on my dime. These are, I think, $6 each. So just consider that. And, great information. Thanks, Orlando, for sharing. All right. Let's move on. We are right at that point. We're going to do the weather. Let's move into it and let's show you. Let's get on to windy real quick. The only information that I have from our local meteorologist that they're sharing is that later in the week, other than right now, we got a bunch of dry air. High pressure, what's high pressure produce? High pressure produces dry air. No storms, really. Till later in the week, I believe they said Friday going into Sunday, there is going to be a weak front coming through. It's probably going to be more of a non-event than anything. So let's look at windy. This is our current situation right now. We got east winds in the teens blowing. West coast, we got a couple of dead spots, but all around it's blowing from the east. So if you're fishing over here down in the southwest, you're going to have the cloudy water. Over here on our east coast, Palm Beach, up in the Fort Pierce and stuff, down into the Keys, it's pretty much going to be a little bumpy out there if you're trying to get out right now. Tomorrow, inland, it's going to lay down, but still offshore everywhere. You see we're in the teens, mid to high teens. Over on the Big Bend by Marco Island, Naples, it lays down inshore. But again, the water might be a little cloudy, so you have to play your cards. Down here in the Keys, 10,000 Islands, it's very windy. So yes, thank you for your experience. Hey guys, listen, fishing is supposed to be fun. I'm not that fisher guy that says, oh, I know all the secrets. Why in the world would I want to share anything with you? I've caught plenty of fish in my life. I've taken my family and I've taught them to fish. And, everybody who's seen the Fish Slayer, my daughters grow up and everything. It does me no good to hide these secrets. I would rather have everybody out there be able to go and have some fun. And the more we get educated about, hey, what's catching, what's biting, the patterns of our bait and travel, the time of year they're doing it, what's the best thing we can fish with, and we understand our weather conditions and what it's going to do to our ocean, that makes everybody happy campers so that they can, like I said, get into the bite, right? All right, so let's move on. This is Wednesday afternoon. Our wind starts to let up a little bit, and this is what's going to be probably our pattern heading into the weekend. Thursday morning, we're starting to level out. Here we are at below 10 miles an hour all around the state, inshore, probably offshore to about 3 or 4 miles. And the further out you go, the winds are going to pick up. Down here, Chokoloskee, Naples, it's starting to lay down. So by the weekend, you'll probably have that clearer, cleaner water, be able to do some inshore fishing, and maybe be able to head out way deeper. Up north here, you'll be able to get out, go hit them oil rigs, do some tuna fishing. All right, here we go. Like I said, Thursday again, still Thursday afternoon, laying down around Marco Island, laying down more. Thursday night, but it's still laying down. Let's check out Friday. Friday, here we go. Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. We've got this is Friday morning, some nice deadness. So our seas are probably looking at starting to lay down. The wind looks like it is coming from the east, but it's going to shift and head up. The further up north we got, it'll be heading westerly. So up north, we're probably looking at starting to form a swell coming from the northeast. And out here, down here, we are on the leeward side of the island. So again, your west coast, you're looking at the ocean starting to clear up. Down here, Biscayne Bay is pretty nice looking, and in your shallows off the Keys, it looks like it's starting to lay down. So you might be able to get out Friday, and as the day wanes on, it'll pick up in the Tri-County area inshore a little bit, but that's typical of the afternoons. And however, it seems like it'll probably be doable. Let's move on in. That's noon. Friday afternoon, pick up a little bit. Like I said, that onshore easterly breeze, and this might be having to do a little bit. Like I said, we've got that high pressure that is going to be overtaken by a weak front. Again, this front isn't going to be like a cold front or anything that pulls through with any massive amount of rain or anything like that. Saturday, early morning, here we go. Biscayne Bay, Miami, looking nice. As we head north, our wind starts to shift to the west, so we're going to get a swell. So we're looking at some good seas, nice ocean conditions for the weekend, Friday heading into Saturday. And so we've got and interestingly enough, right down out here, we've got out from the Caribbean, off the Bahamas, Alistown, Freeport, all the goodness out here. Here's Freeport, here's Alistown. So our wind is swinging from the south and up to the north, and then kind of bends back in. We'll have a swell. It's going to be laid down and subdued. And over here on the west coast, the leeward side of the peninsula, it's laid down. So again, like I said, we're looking at the water clearing up over on our west coast. We're looking at some nice conditions for Saturday. Saturday afternoon, again, we got that onshore breeze. Sunday morning, look at this in here, inshore. This light color means we got 5 miles an hour from the south. So you're looking at Sunday. Let's see what Saturday was. Saturday morning. 5 miles an hour. So in the morning time, it's going to be nice and subdued. Good weather to get out with and get that line wet. Get some fish in the bucket. Right? 10,000 Islands. Same stuff. Same story. Keys. Further south you go, the more punishment it looks like you're going to take. Sunday afternoon, we're looking at picking up again the onshore afternoon breeze. Monday, it's still a little subdued. Over on the west coast, we start getting the wind pushing towards the peninsula, and over here on our east coast, we've got a west wind. So we will still, Monday, you're looking at still relatively calm seas. That will be a swell, if anything. Monday afternoon, same goodness. Some weird, funky stuff going up here by Palm Bay, Vero Beach. Let's look at Tuesday real quick. Tuesday down in the Keys. Look at that. We're looking at some nice, calm weather down there in the morning as we head up into the Tri-County area. Tuesday's looking at like a great day too. So, you got to consider, hey, Monday and Tuesday, we might be able to play hooky. Sounds good to me. Get out there and get a line wet. All right, so that's our wind. Let's look at our waves real quick. We'll head back to Tuesday. Look where we are. Tuesday, this is us. We are at solid 3-foot waves, 2 to 3. Wednesday, again, up north, it's 4 foot, 3, 2 to 4. Down in the Tri-County area, over here on the west coast, we're looking at nice. But again, those waters are still going to be calming down, and they might be a little cloudy. So if you're looking at doing that inshore fishing, redfish, snook, all that goodness over here, It might be a little cloudy, but hey, the bite might be tough to find. But if you're persistent, you'll find it. Let's head into Thursday. Thursday over on our East Coast, we are laying down 2-foot seas. Like I said, as we head into the weekend, it's going to lighten up and everyone's going to be able to get out there. West Coast, all the way from Naples, hit Coral, all the way down into Everglades National Park. In the shallows of the Keys, probably even a little bit doable as you head more offshore. It'll be bumpy, but it's going to, like I said, lay down as the weekend approaches. Friday, again, here we go. Biscayne Bay, Miami, up into the Tri-County area. We're looking at 1 to 2. Out on the West Coast, you're looking at the Dead Seas. Those waters are going to start clearing up. Let's look at Saturday. Saturday, less than 1 foot out off Miami and Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale. Again, 1 to 2 foot seas as we head up. Even inshore up north is probably going to be a little bit fun. You know, as you head out more offshore, if you've got to head out 30 miles off there, it'll probably get a little bumpy. But hey, our West Coast is looking beautiful. Out off the Keys, let's look out here. So out here somewhere is Pulley Ridge and all that. So if you're doing one of those trips, it's looking like good seas to make a trip like that. I believe they're starting to do those sorts of long-range trips right now. All right, so that's Saturday. Saturday is looking great. Sunday, again, same stuff. 1 to 2 foot seas over on the West Coast, looking beautiful. Biscayne Bay, Miami, Key Largo. Yeah, you're looking good, especially if you're hitting them patch reefs and even heading offshore. You'll be able to do it. Go out and get them mahi, man. These are the types of weather conditions we are looking for, that we like to heading into. We're in spring, and look, you want to get out there and do that summer. We got a skyway fisherman. Let's look at Tampa. Here we are. There's Cedar Key. That's up by Ocala. Tampa. For a skyway fisherman, you're looking at very nice conditions as the week approaches. I don't know what the water looks like right now. It could be a little murky, it could be stirred up, but you're looking at great conditions. Hopefully the kingfish are still rampant coming off the piers and the Skyway Bridge. That's for Randy. Hey, love people from all over both coasts showing up and saying, hey, we're here. What can you do for us? All right, let's move. So that's Sunday, looking good. Again, Sunday afternoon, it looks like it's going to start picking up all over the place, off the West Coast and the East Coast. 1 to 2, though, not bad. Definitely, we can get out there and make this happen, right? Definitely. Over here in Everglades National Park, 10,000 Islands is still dead, looking great. Monday, again, very doable. Both coasts, up and down. This is the weather that fishermen like to have. Not dead flat, no breeze, because we need a little bump. We need a little bit of wind to drive the food source, to keep the ocean a little bit cool. Once you get no wind, no nothing, the ocean's going to heat up like a boiling pot of water, and the fish ain't going to want to eat. That's when you're going to want to go slow fish jigging, by the way. All right, so Monday afternoon, again, letting up. Tuesday, another beautiful day. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. You know, as Friday approaches, get out there and get it done. You'll have the whole weekend. It's doable whatever days you want. If you are not a weekend guy and don't want to deal with the weekend crowd, early next week is looking dynamite. All right, let's look at our rain and see if it's going to agree with what we're saying. Let's go to today, right now. So like I said, we'll zoom out a little bit. Here's where we're at. Cuba, Florida. Like I said, drier conditions. Over here is that little frontal system, that I said, will be approaching as the weekend approaches. How fast it hits us is going to change, but it's not going to be a major rain event or anything, right? So, like I said, high pressure means dry air, right? Nothing really down here. Little spotty showers over Cuba, way offshore, hundreds of miles away. Nothing in around us. Thursday, again, still high pressure, pulling dry air. Friday, still nothing. Like I said, now we should have, here's the front that should be heading towards us into the weekend. But like I said, it's going to be a non-event. If you notice this flow, it's going to keep it out up here. So we're looking at really not much in the way of rain and the wet stuff and the moisture hitting us. So there we go. A little bit develops Saturday inshore right here. over inland, but it doesn't really do nothing. That's Saturday evening. That's 5 p.m. And then again, dry Sunday into Monday. The same thing. We got this high pressure. We got a little bit of it heading over, a little bit of the wet stuff. There's a frontal boundary coming through. But again, if you can see what the jet stream, the upper level of our driving winds is doing, it's pushing this wind and rain cells away from us. That's just the nature of the beast this time of year. All right, Tuesday morning, 4 a.m. We got some offshore. That's the remnants of what that was. So obviously the jet stream, as you can see, it's lowering, and that little frontal boundary is actually heading a little bit south. And we'll get some precipitation, but not much into Tuesday. That's what we're looking at for that. All right, so let's shut that screen down. So, as we said, the day to get out is looking like Friday is going to be hit or miss, but all weekend into early next week, man, it's a free-for-all. Get out there and do it. All right, let's see what we got here. Seas and winds finally laying down tonight here in Puerto Rico. Excellent. Hey, good deal, man. Looking forward to heading out in the next several days. Thanks for the tips. Of course, hey, thanks for reporting in from Puerto Rico. We can always use reports from everywhere. That's good to know. What else do we got here? Full pink moon Tuesday. Does that affect the bite offshore? Yes and no. Give me 2 seconds and we'll get to the moon phase. Yes, your moon always affects your fishing. All right. Focus. All right. What? Rain. Let's look at wind. We'll look at WindFinder real quick. It's going to say the same thing that Windy says, because they are one in the same. All right. So here we are. East winds, teens. That's today. Tomorrow, high teens. Still ripping. So, tomorrow isn't exactly ideal. Heading into Thursday, we're starting to lower as we get into the lower double digits. Still an easterly wind. Great for driving in all the Caribbean food sources and debris and stuff. Fish love that stuff. And an easterly to a southeast wind this time of year, you better get out there and smack them dolphin. All right. And I don't mean porpoise. I mean dolphin fish. Mahi. All right. Friday, again, lower, below 10 miles an hour. Heading into the afternoon, and this is going to follow that trend. Like we said, that wind's dropping down and all weekend into early next week. Good deal. Saturday, we've got a variable wind. Starts out southerly and starts shifting to the southeast. Again, great mahi fishing weather. Tuna fishing, the fish are going to be biting. We're in the low digits here. Early morning, and as the afternoon picks up, like we saw in our graphic from Windy, that afternoon onshore breeze, so get out, get there early, get out, get it done. Again, Sunday, the same thing. Heading into Monday looks beautiful. Same with Tuesday. So we got variable winds also, but they're, as you can see, during the afternoon hours, they're going to kick into gear from the southeast. And again, same thing from the east. So we're not going to have winds blowing all of our food source towards the Caribbean. We're going to have it blowing towards our shore. So the fish more than likely might be in a little shallower. Like I said, once you start seeing those forms of life, get out there and get some lines in the water. Yes. Finally, I can get down to Palm Beach. Yes. There you go. That's the spirit. Be sure to skip work Monday and Tuesday. Get out there. All right. Let's take a look at our favorite folks from NOAA, see what they've got to say. And I already took a sneak peek at this, and they actually agree with what everybody else is saying this week. Right now, and for the next couple of days, don't do it. Winds blowing east 10 to 15, but it's out there. It's bumpy. It's 2 to 3 feet. But if you look right here, they got a period of 4 seconds. So when you've got a period of waves that is really close together, 3 to 4 seconds, we got chopped. The longer the period is, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, up to 11 seconds, that's a swell. So as we head further towards the weekend, Thursday, it starts letting up 2 feet or less. Friday, southeast winds, seas 2 feet or less. Friday night, 2 feet or less. Saturday through Sunday, again, they're saying south winds, 10 to 15 knots, gusts around 20. That's talking in the afternoon. They're taking just an average. It's not like you can scroll through the graphic like you can on Windy. But again, here, if you look at it, they're saying seas 2 feet or less. So again, get out there this weekend and get some slaying done, get some meat on the deck, get some blood there, blood stains on your deck that you can't remove, and feed the family. All right, let's talk about our moon phase for JR. Johnny Rivera. Yes, the moon. Yes. So interestingly enough, moon phase. Let me pull up the graphic right here. This is from Moon Giant. So the inshore bite, John, right, is interesting. It doesn't affect it as much as the offshore pelagics. Pelagics are feeding all night. If you've got a real illuminated sky, pelagics tend to feed, and they might not be as aggressive as they are when the moon doesn't exist, when we're at a 0% illumination. When we're at a full moon, the bait sources tend to go and hide because the fish can eat all night, right? So when we've got less of a moon going on, the predators are tending to wait till some light comes around and they can see and go after them. I mean, fish tend to, it's all about hearing and smelling too, but light plays a huge part of fish being able to feed. So again, the inshore bite, I'm sure it affects it somewhat the same, right? So if you've got a big bright full moon, your fishing during the day might not be as active as it is at night if you've got a bright moon inshore. I've been fishing, but then again, I've been fishing inshore off jetties and stuff when there's a full moon and can't get a bite for my life. So, again, that's where they say fishing is called fishing and not catching for a reason. But let's go over our moon phase and stick with what we know, right? A full moon kind of makes your fishing a little bit less active during the day, but it doesn't kill it off totally, especially when we've got a hot bite like it is right now. Okay. Right now here, we are at a 57% waxing moon. Again, to explain the moon phase, when we talk about waxing, imagine you're putting wax on your car. So waxing means we are moving towards the full moon. When we say waning, that means we are moving away from the full moon. So currently, we are moving towards the full moon. We are waxing 57% today. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 66%. Darn it. Thursday, waxing moon 75%. Friday, we're looking at 83%. Saturday, 89%. And Sunday, 94%. And we'll look at the full moon Monday and Tuesday. So here's the trick about the full moon, guys, right? Some pelagics, it turns off, like the dolphin and stuff. They're feeding all night. However, other pelagics like wahoo love a moon like this. So if you're getting out during the weekend, you're looking at some good possible wahoo fishing. Again, they're scattered, but they're still there. They're still chomping. So don't be afraid to go after them. And again, this full moon doesn't mean the dolphin bite is not going to be there. That is not what it means at all. They will be there. You just got to hunt them down. But again, there's a possibility that they might be less active. Okay, so just bear that in consideration. If the bite's a little slow for the mahi and the tuna, that's because they're eating at night. All right, that's our moon phase. Let's look to our tides, because our tides play a huge part of our fishing right out the inlets with the water flow, right? You got water flow, you got debris going out, you got fish that bite. All right, here we go. Perfect. We are looking at mid-tide right now, heading out today. This is Tuesday right here. So what this means, you got to remember your tides are in 12-hour sections, 6 hours of falling, 6 hours of rising, okay? So if we're in the middle of this tide right now, your tide's pulling right as the sun's pulling strong, right as your sun's coming up. So in this sort of pattern right here, you're going to want to get out and fish in front of that inlet if you can, just and see if they're going to bite, right? Wahoo especially love a lot of water flow. So it would be kingfish also, the king mackerel. If you can get out and give it a shot right in front of your inlet as this tide is flowing out and your tide is falling, that's when those fish are going to be out there. What happens is the debris pushes out. Lots of all sorts of stuff goes out. Bait. You've got the stuff that creates photosynthesis, all your little microplanktons and your phytoplanktons and everything go out. Little fish come in to eat that. The littler fish, bait fish come in to eat that. And then that draws in our predators. That is the theory behind water flow and fishing the mouths of inlets. All right, as we head further towards the weekend, we're still pulling strong. And at noontime, we've got that slack tide. I've heard great things about Wahoo hitting on the slack tide too. So don't be afraid of that. Also, Johnny Rivera, remember he set up in Port St. Lucie that he saw tarpon on the outgoing tide. Then again, whether or not they're chewing, he did say they're eating big mullet. So whether or not they'll take a bait is, that's up to be seen. Still, our tide flowing out is great news heading into this weekend. There we go, Friday. Daybreak, we're looking at the tide just barely getting into it. We're about an hour into that tide pulling, so it'll be pulling tight. Get out in front of that inlet and start out there. If not, start a little bit south or a little bit north of it and pull them lines over it if you're trolling. All right, and again, here we go, Saturday. Just before daybreak, 6:30. So the sun rises at about 7, 6:30. We are at the top of the tide. The ebb tide starts flowing out. So going into Sunday and early into next Monday, you will be at a tide change, right? So just consider that when you're heading out. Don't get frustrated if the fish don't bite immediately. But then again, we've heard great things about fishing on that slack tide. So, let me know, guys. Let me know if they're hitting at that slack tide or if it's when the tide is pulling real tight. All right, so there we go. That is all of our weather report, our fish report, all that goodness that we've got for this week. Again, guys, before we head out, I just want to remind you that this fishing report is the weekly YouTube live stream right here. Completely thrives off of what I'm about to show you right now, which is a group on Facebook. It is also called the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. This right here, what you see, is what makes this weekly show happen. So if you're on Facebook and you haven't joined, please, beg you, go ahead, join it. Ask to join the group. You got to answer 2 simple questions because the bots were killing me. It says, what's your favorite fish? And do you agree to my rules? Some folks don't even have a favorite fish, or they might just want to join the group to learn about fishing so that they've got a favorite fish. Also, the rules. Guys, no advertising. Everybody's playing ball right now. No advertising. Don't post your YouTube videos. It's just here for folks to say, hey, this is what's going on, right? So join the page. Every Tuesday, we've got the live report. Every Monday, we've got the question where everybody gets to show off their catches. And, if you post your stuff, I will try my darndest to make sure that you are included in this live stream because that's what this community is all about. All right, let's see. What do we got here before I shut off? We've been sitting on 72, 74 temp, needs 76 to 80. Yeah, so interestingly enough, if we go historically by what mahi and tuna and those pelagics chew on, they say 72 to 80, right? A little bit warmer, yes, they will feed better in that range. Once it starts getting warmer than that, right, our peanuts start showing up and mahi fishing becomes a little miserable. So, yes, sooner than later, it will warm up. But like I said, we've got this reversal. Remember, we've got La Nina coming, so we will get to it as summer approaches, but we'll see how long it's going to last. And remember, La Nina lasts for years. All right, folks, just a little bit something going on for next week. Back in February, the middle of February, I was injured at work. Next Monday, the 22nd, I am going for surgery to fix my injury. Finally, only took almost 2.5 months. So Monday, I'll be having a surgery. I am going to try wholeheartedly to gather myself, and hopefully I'm not dying in pain from it, so that I can be able to go live and we can have this show and everybody can, get the information we need to know to keep it in the fight. I'm going to try my hardest. If not, I will definitely let everybody know, hey, I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm not feeling up to it. But me know myself, I'll be able to pull it out. So anyway, can't say I'm really looking forward to a surgery. I've never had one. I've never been under anesthesia or anything like that. So, a little nervous, but hey, I'll pull through. And again, I really hope I'm feeling really up to it. And we'll see. Anyway, regardless, right now, I'm looking forward to seeing everyone, chatting with you, and keeping everyone in the know so that we can get into the bite. All right, folks, we're pulling the plug on this one this week. Till next time, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. Going wherever the cool wind is going to take us.